The Tricky Trials update brought new life to survival Minecraft this week, and with it, a bunch of new add-ons came out at exactly the same time, intending to improve precisely that experience. Whether it's health bars for the trial spawner mobs, gateways to get between the structures, or magic weapons, here are 3 of the most targeted add-ons for the Tricky Trials, and importantly, we'll be answering the question of are any of these actually going to improve your experience, and are any of them actually worth your money and your time? Let's load up the trial chamber, and let's find out, starting with the health bar add-on, which just cost me 660 coins, but is on my world now. So during the intro of this video, I accidentally triggered a bogged spawner, which meant I had to immediately kill some, which gave me some real world experience, which I then backed up with this health bar handbook, and so now I can tell you all about this add-on. Yeah, for real, this is an add-on that costs $4, 660 minecoins, but it has precisely 2 features. And let me tell you about both of them right now. One of these is the health bar, the titular feature. It doesn't show above the mob at all times. Instead, 2 things need to be true. The health needs to be not at full, so it can't be at 16 for a bogged, for example, or indeed with a slime. I think it's the same health actually, 16. So you can't have full HP, but also you have to be looking directly at the mob. Once both of these things are true, you can see how much HP it has, which is actually really handy, but makes me think that there must be some outer limit, so let's go test that. So I've killed enough bogs now to get a bow and arrow, and as you can see while using this bow and arrow, I'm hopefully going to be able to see the HP above a mob's head, but it doesn't look like that actually. Okay, I'm going to try down here. Does it have to be a melee weapon that I hurt the mobs with? So as you can see, there are some limitations on how this works. One of those is the mob can't be at full health. Another one is you have to be looking at the mob. And the third seems to be there is a max distance, which means it only really works with melee weapons. I'm going to try again with the bogged, because I feel like he's the one this would work best for. But as you can see, no, the mob is not showing his HP above his head until I get just a little bit closer, and there you go. So from 3 blocks away, you can tell a mob's experience, HP, I guess is what I mean to say. And then, yeah, if you read this book, that will explain precisely this. It has to be within 5 blocks, although it felt like a little bit less, and also it can't be obscured by any blocks or entities. Then there are damage indicators. These appear as red minus symbols when a mob takes damage and show the amount of damage taken. So these have to be turned on in the settings, and as you can see, display damage particles. We're going to submit that on, and now we should be able to see when we hurt a mob, and I'm going to test if that works for both first of all. Okay, so just shoot. I'm trying my best here. I'll shoot you first, I guess. Whoa, okay, so that's much more effective. It works at any range, and you can see exactly how effective your hit is. It's weird that this is the optional setting, because it feels like the more useful one to me, but if you want the mod H part, as exists in many mods for Java, you can only see it within 5 blocks, and you have to be directly looking at what you want to kill. Very, very bizarre as far as effects go, but something to keep in mind. What else comes with this add-on? Well, there is one other section, which is crafting recipes, and I laughed a little bit when I found out what this is, because crafting recipes tells you how to make one of these books, which tells you how the 2 features in this add-on works, and I think that if you're going to sell a 2-feature add-on, both of those features need to be amazing. The fact that they only have one of these features turned on by default means I don't think they have a lot of trust in their second feature, and the fact that the first feature only works within 5 blocks is a mistake. Orville Studios, you know, a lot of respect for the people making this, you can't sell this for $4. I think that is a ludicrous amount to charge, but if you're going to, you know, because honestly, you know, the price is what the market will bear or whatever, if you're going to take that logic, you need to make sure that one feature works as expected, and no one would think that an add-on about health bars would only work with it. Also, look, they had to rename the mob, so it says I was shot by a mob with 4 out of 16 health points. I think that it should work a little bit better than that if you're going to pay such premium prices, more than Minecraft itself costs on mobile, though that's true for most add-ons, I have to admit. This is a bit of a dud, and it might help your trial chamber experience, because this is the place in the game where the most close combat exists, but the moment you start using the bow, the entire add-on becomes worthless, and I just think if it's got one feature, you should make sure that one feature works. But that is the health bar add-on. I don't think it's as great as perhaps the second add-on we'll check out. I need to get my stuff back though. Like, should not have jumped down. I'm gonna die if I'm not careful. After clearing up my inventory a little, I think I'm finally ready for the Crystal Gateways add-on. So the idea behind Crystal Gateways is it's a 660 Minecon edition that's the same price as the Health Bar Handbook, but it actually actually will come with more than 2 features, and those features are meant to be about upgrade crystals, which will allow you to open up new boundaries of their capabilities. And we start by going to a crafting table and getting a special item called the crystal upgrade, which we can use to upgrade our crystals. So this is a crystal level 1. It has a range of 10 blocks and an effect duration of 60. Not very specific, but I assume there's something about teleportation that is just implied. The crystal level 2 is a little bit more expensive, lots of lanterns involved there. The crystal level 3 has a bunch of iron blocks around a end crystal? Wow, that's seriously challenging to get your hands on. And then level 4 has diamonds and a sea lantern and respawn anchors. This is designed to be a very, very hard to craft one, but it gives you password protection and the ability to set your spawn, and also an effect duration of 480, the ability to teleport within one world. Wow, okay, so does it go further than this, or is that the max level? No, there's level 5. This is netherite blocks and a beacon and the silent shrimp, and they're kind of memeing about making the hardest recipe for this. The ability to teleport between different worlds? What? And also spawn protection and password protection. And then finally, how do you teleport? Well, you use a level 4 or 5 crystal and you can get around your world. So basically, Crystal Gateways has 5 brand new features and they're slowly improving different levels of each other. I'm gonna level with you, getting my hands on 3 blocks of netherite, the silence armor trim, and everything else. It just doesn't seem very feasible, but I mean, I didn't actually do any of that in legit survival, and you should obviously be cautious of any YouTube video that just cuts away to the montage for the hard bit. But anyway, with that said, now it's important to go ahead and let's actually craft the things that we got in very much legit means, and definitely didn't have to go through a great deal of work, because these are very hard to get items. Level 1 crystal is something anyone could make, but a level 1 crystal just does this. It is active. Okay, no, we want it active. Let's configure it. A level 1 crystal can give you the night vision effect, or regeneration, or speed, or haste, just like a beacon can, and then you can... Wait, what is the effect amplifier? Why does it go from 1 to 1? What does this mean? So we can choose to give ourselves the regeneration effect if we want to, which is exactly what I would like, actually. So let's go ahead, turn on regeneration, and see what that looks like. Hey, yeah, regeneration. Can I see what regeneration 1 and a bit looks like? Just regular old regeneration. Huh, weird. Regardless of the reason or meaning though, this will help me out a bunch when fighting, say, strays. Although I think it's going to be bogs in this room again. But it'll help me out a lot when fighting basically any mob, because now when they spawn, I'll be ready to take them on with extra healing to counteract the negative effects that they try to give me. This means that I can tear them apart. I'm actually not taking any damage. Let's deliberately take some and show you that Bedrock healing sucks, but Bedrock healing with a little bit of regeneration is great. And all we've got to do to keep that regeneration is stay within, I believe they said 16 blocks of it. So a fairly small radius, but here we are. Wait. Yeah, all the way over here it's not working. We have to be literally on the thing? Oh, it's still not working. We have to reactivate it? Huh. What's gone wrong? It's regeneration. It just isn't giving it to me. Do you only get it once? I'm looking at my stats effects. I've got my night vision from totally legit survival, and I don't see another effect in here. I'll pick another one just to see if that makes it better. So speed is also not active. Do I have to stand on it? Huh. Maybe that's just level 1. Level 1 works only once, you could argue. So let's try level 2. So these crystal upgrades, it goes without saying, are very expensive, but you can use them to... Oh, okay, that is actually seriously cool. Say what you will about the rest of this, but I love that effect that we just got. And now we can configure this with a secondary effect. So it's like a secondary, it's like a mega beacon. So we'll put saturation and we'll put... regeneration on there now. Actually, let's go with speed. Speed is more fun. So speed and regeneration, and we're going to choose level 1 and a bit for both of those. Let's see if it works. Oh. Do I have to do something? Okay, I'm going to drink some milk, get rid of that effect, and then go in here just in case. Okay, there we go. Maybe that was messing with it in some way. As you can see, I now have 2 effects, and now I can go right back in there and finish up the messy strays with my speed and... Oh, well, not easily. With my speed and my regeneration in hand, although as you can see, they're already dead. Not quite so necessary. There are going to be more around here, of course, and these will be made easier with these extra effects, but it could be made even easier if we were to get a level 3 upgrade. So that, I'm getting invested on these effects. Look at that insanity that just happened. Oh, yeah. And this will allow me to set my spawn point, change a password so that no one else can use it, and more importantly, get a third effect now. Oh, and wow, we can select so many more effects. So instant health is wild. Water breathing, also pretty wild. Conduit power, so as you can see, this level 3, crystal is actually already pretty nuts. I think a bed combined with a conduit, combined with a mega beacon, all in one item is nuts. But what happens at level 4? Well, let's find out. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's satisfying. Level 4 will give you access to your spawn point, and you can get free effects still, although it looks like it's the same list of effects, but now we'll be able to teleport. Destination crystal cannot be reached. So presumably you need at least 2 of these. So let's go back to our spawn area. Okay, I'm on top of a mountain now, and I'm going to rename this crystal the same as the previous one, and now I should be able to teleport between my spawn area and, oh, the trial chambers in the click of a button. So, honestly, this is something that so many other add-ons have done, and I assumed this add-on was going to be focused on, but the fact that this is just a secondary benefit is kind of cool. I feel like your beacons being able to teleport to each other actually is decent game design, and by looking at to level 4, where it's actually fairly hard to get, I think they've balanced this well enough, and so now there's only one thing left to do, and that is to try the level 5 upgrade. This requires the Silence Shrimp for whatever reason, 2 Nether Stars, so defeating the Wither twice, plus a beacon, defeating her a 3rd time, 2 Dragon's Breath, so you have to go to the dragon, and also 3 Netherite blocks, 27 Netherite ingots, more than most players ever deal with, but if you can upgrade your crystal to level 5, well then you get this thing. And so this is, obviously, like before, has the ability to configure with different effects. We've got as many effects as you could ever realistically want from basically the entire list. Do you want permanent Hero of the Villager? You can do that. Do you want level 4 for each of these effects? What happens if we do that for night vision? Are we going to break the game? The point is to say that we can select the level of effects that we want this beacon to give us, which is already kind of nuts. We can choose to rename it and give it a password, and we can also choose to teleport between dimensions. It says between worlds, but I have to assume it means between dimensions, because Minecraft doesn't support an add-on actually moving you between that. So yeah, that's how I choose to take it. But yeah, interestingly enough, despite this being a level 5 crystal, despite this taking so many resources, it still only gives you 50 blocks of range. That is to say, from here to about over, I was going to actually cut it. I was like, oh, it'll be so long to show you. But it means it only gives me range from about there to about 795, which is over here. I am now outside the range of my level 5 crystal that I can see off in the distance. I could see why they'd have to set it fairly low because of simulation distance, but 50 just feels unreasonably cruel on a game balance level. But being able to teleport is OP. Being able to have any effects you want is OP. And although I can't, I feel like the crystal teleportation is a little bit of a messy one, and although I feel like, there could be some extra niceties in here, I think this is much better than the HP add-on if you're looking to spend $4. So far, I like this. The animations are great, and the idea is solid, and I hope that this is the sort of idea that they can continue to work with, because it will actually help you quite a bit with the trial chambers. Although, we need to rename this if we want to go back there. So CY is what I decided to name it, and let's teleport. Oh, you can only teleport between crystals of the same level. So, actually, to get the full benefit of this, you need to not just kill the Wither 3 times, but kill the Wither 6 times, and get 6 blocks of Netherite. And I'm just saying, not a very good survival add-on as a result of that, in my opinion, unless you're looking for ultra late game content, which doesn't perfectly gel with the trial chambers. But still, the best add-on so far, but will it be bested? So the third and final add-on we'll be going into today is the weapon add-on, at least that's what Minecraft calls it. On the store it's called the Magic Weapons add-on, which makes me think there was a last-minute change because it also just has an enchanted book which details the recipes, and one of them, the example recipe is 2 sticks and a stone, which I thought was a little bit of a joke, but actually all of these recipes are incredibly easy to craft. The Mjolnir, I don't actually know how to say that, Mjolnir, the mighty hammer that you can throw onto enemies, is just an anvil and a stick, and that might be the most expensive one because you can use a torch and 2 sticks to make a fiery sword, a fiery aspect of destruction. I am so excited to play around with this. It's very unbalanced, but you know what? I don't care. What I care about is being able to craft an Underworld Bident, a Hofund, a Zeus Lightning, or a Mjolnir. So let's go ahead and let's start with, I think, the cheapest one, right? We have to say, if you were to craft a tire thing, you would get a weapon which is more powerful than a diamond sword, not by a little, but a diamond sword has 7, this has 10, and fire aspect built in by default, and let's just show you what that looks like in practice. So let's go kill an air monster with my fire sword. Oh yeah, he's, as you can see from the health, he's just getting wrecked. It's 16 hits, 16 damage per hit. It is just honestly 2 hits basically and we're over. A single hit on this husk and the rest can be dealt by the fire. It is wild how much damage this thing does if you get a critical with it, because 10 damage feels like a lot. And bear in mind, this was made with just a torch. What can you do with the more powerful or more, I guess, expensive weapons in this add-on? Well, let's make a Hofund, which is a grass block, and let's also make a Mjolnir, which is an anvil. So the grass block is significantly easier to come by than an anvil, but not substantially so. I would say a grass block is actually harder to get than a torch by quite a bit, because you need silk touch. But let's see what a Hofund will do for me today then, shall we? I have been giving Ender Pearl ×1. Why have I been given Ender Pearl ×1? What? Is that the weapon that just did that? Okay, so it gives you strength and also free ender pearls, it seems. Also, where are the rest of the husks? They're definitely spawning, but I don't know where. Also, what is this hammer gonna do for me? Oh, we can charge? Oh no! Whoa! That's okay, that's fun, that's crazy. Looking forward to picking it up and doing that again. Yeah, don't you mess with me, buddy. Oh, this is actually terrible. This sucks. I'm lighting myself on fire and I'm not even getting anything from it. Okay, don't use the Mjolnir. It's the most expensive weapon, but it's worse than just using a torch. Instead, use this, which seems to do 10 damage, plus it seems to have that strength effect, so 18. Very, very unbalanced, but beautiful, I would say. Okay, let's go in. Let's show the power of this, shall we? Oh, yeah, 19 damage. If we get a critical, it's 28 damage per hit with the Hofund. This is so ridiculously broken. I can't even express it. Look at that. I can one-hit KO with a weapon that I made with a grass block. And there's still more weapons to go in this. Okay, I really want to try out the Bident, so we're going to craft that now. It gives you night vision and water breathing, and apparently slows down enemies near you, and also does 10 damage. So again, more than any weapon in Minecraft besides the mace. Admittedly, you know, this is here if you think to yourself, I love that Minecraft 1.21 has brought in an OP weapon, but I wish that they could have even more crazy ones that don't require criticals. This is precisely here for you. Look at this. One-hit KOs on slimes, even with one of the weaker weapons that we can find in this. Absolutely nuts that this exists at all. But there's still more weapons to be found. So I crafted a little stash for myself earlier. We've got in here the Mjolnir Void. I don't know what this does, but I am excited to find out. So when I throw this at something, it misses apparently. Let me try that again though. Okay, so I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to just launch it, and it's just going to give lightning to whatever we go to. It seems to have a weird way of being picked up and dropped down, and is very, very, very OP. But, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people who are paying for microtransactions in the game don't care about balance. This is something I've noticed from my comments. I thought the crystals add-on here was really, really nicely balanced, but maybe you disagree. Maybe you think balance is when you have the most fun, in which case this is the only logical add-on for you, right? I mean, I'm showing off the weaker weapons in the bunch, but the fact that you can have a weapon which is capable of dealing so much damage, and then you can craft another one, and then you can have a lightning weapon too. Okay, I need to know. What's this gonna do? Oh. Oh! So yeah, ultimately, this is very, 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 very overpowered in a way that will break your combat experience. But, you know, there's a lot of people who I talk to who don't actually think combat is one of the most valuable things about Minecraft. They want to play the building part of the game, and that means you have to pick between peaceful or keep inventory. With these tools enabled, you have no good reason to be dying to basically anything, which is a good way of saying, yeah, actually, if you are worried about death, if you feel like the only, you know, like, if you feel like you should be able to take down anything besides the dragon without too much stress, then this will solve your problems for you in such an intense and overwhelming way, which might be exactly what you're looking for. If it is, then check this out. It is the cheapest of the batch, and it's the most smiles that you'll have. I personally don't think I could use it on a long-term survival world, but maybe you'll disagree. Maybe you think that actually this beacon thing is just too well balanced and the health bar add-on does too little, in which case this might be for you. This is the roundup though of the free add-ons, which I think were perfectly fitted around the trial chambers. I think that there is a clear bottom of the pile, which is the health add-on, but maybe useful for you and your server or whatever else you're trying to do. I think that there is a clear top of the pile when it comes to these weapons, but I think the most balanced, the one that will help you have the most fun, probably is going to come from the middle one, which, there we go, we got a beautiful balance in this. Just do anything but the health add-on and you'll have a good time. And honestly, there are 11 new add-ons that came to Minecraft this week. There are so many now that it's impossible for any one person to know about them all. And so at this point, we just have to take the wins where we can. And so the only takeaway that you can have from this is an incredibly fun add-on, but also an incredibly wild add-on. And ultimately, that's what add-ons are about. It's good, cheap fun, and it looks like they're nailing on this front. There are so many of them out there, and knowing which ones to buy is hard. And so if you subscribe to this channel, you'll know more about the various add-ons that exist for Minecraft Bedrock. I hope that the quality overall does improve over time. I figured that as they added more add-ons, this would happen, but it feels like we're making a lot of sideways movements. But you will have a lot of fun with this, and I think that is the most important thing. And also, it's good value for what it is. Totally recommend. You get some real nice 3D models, all of which are animated, and all of which will give you a smile when you use them. Thank you very much for watching today's... Oh, look at that, my health just went up and it showed me. Thank you for watching today's add-on video, and check out the other ones on screen if you want to see more, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.